All right, Hoops fans, welcome to The Explainer. The wait is finally over. The NBA has officially dropped the marquee dates for the 2026-27 season, and we are breaking down a schedule release that is just absolutely dripping with storylines, major offseason moves, and one incredibly massive shift in how the league operates. And look, it all centers around one unavoidable fact. The biggest free agent in basketball, LeBron James, took his talents to Philadelphia, and that move completely reshaped the entire NBA calendar.
Here's our starting lineup for today's Explainer. First, we'll look at the LeBron domino effect. Second, the opening night tripleheader. Third, the afternoon tip-off gamble. Fourth, we'll dive into the Christmas Day blockbusters. And finally, wrap it up with the final takeaways.
So let's jump right into Section 1, the LeBron domino effect. And honestly, the sheer gravity of this specific offseason literally cannot be overstated. 34, that is the magic number here. We already knew the schedule was going to look a bit different this year, but as Commissioner Adam Silver confirmed, the league literally had to wait on LeBron James' free agency decision before they could finalize a single thing. Now that he's officially joined Joel Embiid and new addition Jaylen Brown in Philly, well, the dominoes have fallen. Because of this absolute mega roster, the 76ers secured the maximum number of national TV games allowed. 34 of them. The entire broadcast calendar was basically built around where LeBron was going to land.
Moving to Section 2, opening night tripleheader, October 20th. The league didn't just tweak the schedule this year, you guys. They completely threw their old playbook right out the window.
For years, the traditional formula has been super simple, right? 2 games. The defending champions go first, they raise their banner, and then a late-night marquee matchup closes out the evening. But the 2026-27 formula, it gives us a massive triple header, and it kicks off right in the middle of the afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern Time.
So here's how it plays out. Game 1 starts the season at 3 p.m. with the Celtics visiting the Pistons. Then, a 9:30 p.m. nightcap features the Thunder and Spurs. But let's be real, the undisputed centerpiece of the entire night is that 7 p.m. Eastern matchup, the Philadelphia 76ers at the New York Knicks, and for very good reason.
The New York Knicks are your defending champions. And at 7 p.m., led by Finals MVP Jalen Brunson, they are going to be raising their first championship banner in 53 years. Just let that sink in. 53 years. The magnitude of this moment for New York is absolutely astronomical.
But the NBA couldn't just give them a standard victory lap, right? As the Knicks celebrate their title, they are welcoming the ultimate villain to Madison Square Garden. LeBron James will be making his highly anticipated debut in a Sixers uniform, teaming up with Joel Embiid and Jaylen Brown. This is widely being viewed as a huge changing of the guard moment in the Eastern Conference, and it's happening right in the middle of New York's long-awaited celebration.
Which brings us to Section 3, the afternoon tip-off gamble. Because as amazing as that Knicks game is going to be, it's actually not the first game of the season.
By pushing the Celtics and Pistons into a 3 p.m. slot, the NBA made a highly controversial call to not let the defending champions officially tip off the year. So the big question floating around is this. Is this a genius international strategy, or is it just a blatant grab for ad revenue? We're just looking at the facts here, but the sports world is heavily divided on this one.
Let's break down the clear business motivations behind this 3 p.m. start. First off, the league is back on NBC, and this setup completely satisfies their desire for a massive all-day broadcast marathon. Second, this timing actually captures the European audience, letting overseas fans watch a live season opener before midnight. But it is a huge gamble. The league is betting on daytime viewership against the very real fact that many domestic fans will literally still be at work. Critics are arguing that this dilutes the Knicks' big championship moment and strictly prioritizes ad revenue over long-standing NBA tradition. It's a high-stakes daytime bet, and we're just going to have to see if it pays off.
All right, Section 4, Christmas Day blockbusters. If opening night is about setting the stage, Christmas Day is where the biggest rivalries and the deepest beefs get settled on national television.
Just look at this absolutely loaded 5-game holiday schedule. Starting at noon and running well past midnight on the East Coast, the NBA has stacked the deck with rematches, superstar debuts, and homecomings. Let's dive right into the micro-narratives that make this slate so incredible.
First up at noon Eastern, the San Antonio Spurs visit the New York Knicks. This is a massive NBA Finals rematch. It's the very first time they'll meet since the Knicks closed out the title in San Antonio. And you just know Victor Wembanyama is seeking some serious revenge. Not just for the Finals loss, but remember the flashback. Wemby dropped 42 points on the Knicks on Christmas 2 years ago, and the Spurs still lost. He is coming into the Garden with a massive chip on his shoulder.
Then at 2:30 p.m., things get spicy with the Miami Heat at the Boston Celtics. This classic red versus green holiday rivalry just got significantly hotter thanks to some wild offseason trades. We are going to see Giannis Antetokounmpo in a Miami Heat uniform for the very first time on Christmas. Both Miami and Boston tried to trade for him. Miami won. So what did Boston do? They pivoted, traded away Jaylen Brown, and brought in Paul George. This is going to be Paul George's holiday debut for Boston, going head-to-head with Giannis. That is incredible television.
Now the primetime game is built around another truly historic number, 21. At 5 p.m. Eastern, the Philadelphia 76ers travel to play the Los Angeles Lakers. This will be LeBron James' record-breaking 21st Christmas Day game. But this time, it is a total enemy homecoming. He's returning to Los Angeles wearing a red, white, and blue Sixers uniform. Stepping onto that court in LA as the opposition practically guarantees he'll be greeted with a wild mix of love and heavy booze. It's primetime drama at its absolute finest.
And wrapping up the major highlights, the 10:30 p.m. nightcap gives us the Denver Nuggets at the Golden State Warriors. It's a heavyweight Western Conference clash of future Hall of Famers Steph Curry versus Nikola Jokic in the Bay Area. Jokic is going to be looking to repeat his Christmas miracle from last year. Flashback to exactly a year ago, Jokic put up an unbelievable 56 points and 15 rebounds on the holiday. Can he actually do it again against Steph? We are definitely going to find out.
Section 5, the final takeaways. Let's start bringing all these storylines together to see what this explosive schedule release actually tells us about the current state of the NBA. Looking at the big picture here, a few macro-level themes become incredibly clear. First, the LeBron effect is undeniable. His free agency completely dictated the NBA's calendar and where the national spotlight is pointing. Second, the Eastern Conference is now the undisputed main event of the league. I mean, just look at opening night. 3 of the 4 teams playing in those first 2 marquee slots are from the East. But the biggest takeaway you should have from this explainer is that the NBA is officially prioritizing on-court drama and high-stakes scheduling risks over long-standing tradition.
Before we go, let's just do a quick review of the timeline so you know exactly what's coming. While we've just broken down the major tentpoles, the rest of the matchups for the entire season will drop Thursday, August 13th on ESPN2. Then, the season officially kicks off with that wild opening night tripleheader on October 20th. And of course, block off your calendar for December 25th to catch that massive 5-game Christmas slate.
I want to leave you with a final thought to chew on. The NBA has clearly shown they are willing to take massive risks for the sake of broadcast strategy. But looking at that controversial break from tradition, is starting the season with a 3 p.m. game before the banner raising a brilliant modern business move? Or should the defending champions always, without exception, get the honor of going first? It's a fascinating debate, and frankly, it just proves that October truly cannot get here soon enough. Thanks for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.